Let me tell you something. We are living in dangerous times. Every day we hear politicians and so-called leaders get in front of cameras and talk about crime being down, as if that makes families who've lost loved ones feel any safer. These same officials dodge the real questions. They deflect when asked about gun violence, and they celebrate statistics while ignoring the blood on our streets. Meanwhile, hard-working Americans are the ones who pay the price. And yet the Department of Justice dares to cut funding for violence prevention programs, and these politicians just shrug. Enough is enough. This is about our families, our neighborhoods, and our God-given right to live in safety.
Did you, do you know somebody named Cheryl Mills? Used to work in the White House as a lawyer.
I do, yes.
How do you know Miss Mills?
I met Miss Mills through President Clinton.
And do you remember generally the time frame that you met her?
I do, actually. Hang on. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to get my dates right.
Approximately.
Well, okay, I can't get my dates right. But it's something you probably can. But it's going to be in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So what I don't recall.
So
I wanted to say 2002.
So it was after President Clinton left office.
Oh yes.
And so it was in the 2000s.
Definitely.
And how did you meet her? What were the circumstances under which you met Miss Mills?
I went on a trip with the president to South America.
With which president?
Oh, sorry, President Clinton.
Yeah. Okay. Just
sorry.
I just wanted to make sure it was clear. Okay. So you went on a trip to where?
Latin America.
And so Miss Mills was on that trip.
She was.
And President Clinton was on that trip.
He was.
Who else was on that trip?
Doug Band.
Who worked with President Clinton?
Yes.
And was Mr. Epstein?
No.
And what was the purpose of that trip?
Well, the president had business. I don't know. I mean, the president met with. I can't even remember all the presidents, and we were in.
But was this part of President Clinton's work after he left office with his foundation, or was meaning?
I don't think the foundation.
Was it something for him, or was it?
I don't remember when the Clinton Global Initiative started. So if you give me that date, I can tell you if it was pre or post. Because without that, I can't pin the reason.
Do you remember what it was for or not?
No, I don't recall. I mean,
yeah, that's don't overthink or underthink the reason for my questions. I don't have any idea why you went on that trip, so
okay,
I don't know an answer that I'm keeping.
No, I'm just trying to be as accurate as possible and give you the
why
information
would you?
that you see.
Do you remember why you were invited to go? Like, were you friends with somebody? What was your role going on that trip?
I didn't have a role.
So, do you remember? Why? Do you remember who invited you to go?
Probably Doug Band.
And how did you know Doug?
Because Doug again was back with Philip Levine.
And do you know whether he had a relationship with Mr. Epstein?
Who?
Doug.
I don't know. I mean, nothing. I don't believe there was any relationship other than I helped. Well, without me, I don't think there would have been those flights because I was the one who asked Epstein to provide the plane for. Well, certainly I remember the one to Africa, of course, that big trip. And I thought it was an honor and a privilege to be part of something so amazing and to have an opportunity to spend time with a man that I found truly extraordinary. And please, I don't mean it in any other way other than there's a former fantastic ex-president.
So I was asking around the question, but I was asking, like, were you basically asked to go because you were kind of responsible for the plane? Not responsible is the wrong word. They use you. They were able to use you to make sure that they could. You helped them get Mr. Epstein's plane for the trip.
No, I don't even know if when I was on that. In fact, I think that trip, I'm not even sure that Epstein had met the president.
Okay.
I think this is, if I'm right, and I think I am, I think that trip happened when Epstein and Clinton had never even, not that they'd never met because Epstein had gone to the White House, but they had not met. I'd never asked Epstein for the plane then because they'd never met and it would be weird. But they met because of me, and the plane was because of me. But that trip was the first, I think, the first trip I took with the ex-president. And I don't believe Epstein and he had met. And we're talking a time period when I was trying to leave, not very successfully, obviously, but I was branching out on my own and being more independent of Mr. Epstein and trying to, I had all kinds of businesses that I was into. I was trying to start the first telehealth medicine with the Cleveland Clinic. I mean, I'm not going to bore you because I don't think that's what you guys are interested in, but those were the sorts of things that I was looking for him to finance so that I could stop being, general manager of a hotel.
Did you take other trips with some or all of those individuals kind of without Mr. Epstein in later years? Like you said, that was the first time that you had kind of been on something like that, and it was an honor, and you were spending time with former President Clinton and others. Were there other, over the years, did you do that more than once?
Yes.
We'll talk about those. Like multiple times, like too many to count, or there are 3 or 4 times, like how many times?
A lot. I went on a lot of trips. Now, I don't recall all of them, not because I'm trying to be evasive or anything, but I just don't remember them all. And after a while, in the incredible job that you have, all of you, that when you're so high pressured and you're spending so much time with extraordinary people like you do with President Trump, it can blur. It just does. And there's few things that stand out because at the end it's all just extraordinary. There's cars and sirens and president. It's like, whoa, okay.
So I understand, but talk. So don't give me understand. You can't give specific numbers. Describe more about kind of that part of your life and your relationship. I'm using relationship. You don't like relationship.
I don't.
And your
my employer.
Yes.
Right,
so just to
you.
describe what you were doing with those individuals. So when I say those individuals, I'm talking about former President Clinton, Doug, other folks that worked with
all
him.
Of them, yes, there were loads of them, and basically all of them. You know the team. I don't need to give you all the names. You have them at your fingertips, and I can confirm. If you give me names, I'll say yes, because they're not all going to pop into my head. So,
Right.
Okay. So I started spending a lot of time. I don't want to characterize that later. I started to spend time with the former president and with Doug and his team. And I had no purpose, really, other than I obviously offered something. I don't know. Ideas of, I don't know. Anyway, and he started to travel. I don't remember if the first trip was Africa or how it went, but at some point, I think there was actually 2 trips, but I'm not sure. So there was to Europe and then to Africa. I think maybe it was all one trip. And at some point, Mr. Epstein said he didn't want to go on the trip, and he was going somewhere else, and he just left. And I was like, well, okay. And so I ended up doing the whole trip without Mr. Epstein or his plane.
And when you were traveling with them, what were the purposes of the trips? Like, is this one?
I think these were all, I think actually it was the AIDS was one of the primary ones for his AIDS foundation when he was working to do that. And there were always a humanitarian side to the trips. And we went to Egypt, and there was, oh, yeah.
So it sounds like you're describing right now, one trip with lots of
It
stops.
could be, but I have a feeling that I went on other trips, but I can't remember.
When you went on
I
these
went to London. I went
to London, okay.
I don't know if that's the same trip.
When you went on these trips, were you always on Mr. Epstein's plane, or
No.
did you sometimes accompany them on a different plane?
Correct, yes.
How many were on Mr. Epstein's plane? Again, I'm not holding you to exact, but
That was packed, because there was a lot of Secret Service. It took all the Secret Service as well. So
Okay.
it was, whatever the detail is for Secret Service, it's a lot.
and on how many occasions, besides the trip you just described, were there other times when they used when President Clinton and the folks he was with used Mr. Epstein's plane?
I think there was twice, maybe, there was that, but it will reflect on the logs. There won't be anything that's not on the logs that you have already.
But in this video, you'll see exactly what happens when an official is pressed on crime. He's asked directly, if guns on the street are the issue, why cut? Funding to stop the violence? Instead of answering, he sidesteps, saying resources are being deployed. That's not leadership, that's evasion. When reporters pressed again about the gun aspect of gun violence, the official shut it down, thanked reporters, and walked away. That tells you everything. They don't want accountability. They want applause. Then they try to brag about a drop in crime rates at the end of April. But the truth is obvious. Those numbers mean nothing to the mother of a young intern. Gunned down just for going to McDonald's near the Washington Convention Center. Tell that to the young man who was beaten so badly he suffered a concussion and broken nose. These aren't statistics. These are human beings, Americans whose lives were destroyed while politicians pat themselves on the back. The speaker even admits it. It's never enough. And he's right, because no mother, no father, no child feels safer when they're told crime is down. That falls on deaf ears. This is why we fight. This is why patriots must stand strong. We cannot allow Washington elites to celebrate percentages while ignoring the pain of real people. We demand safety, we demand justice, and we demand leaders who actually protect their citizens instead of hiding behind statistics. So, patriots, let me leave you with this. America doesn't need more empty speeches. America needs action. Protect our families, protect our communities, and defend our rights. Because at the end of the day, it's not about numbers, it's about lives. And we will not stop fighting until every American can walk the streets without fear. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.